Hello folks, and welcome back to the Chateau farm. I realised whilst editing this video that I haven't done an introduction. I've just gone straight onto to filming things. So this is the introduction. I hope you like the vlog and what we're up to, and I'll see you at the end of the video. So one of the focuses this year is to try and fill, we have two huge chest freezers at the moment. That's where we keep mainly our meat and our butter. That we have an excess of at the moment, but one of the goals in the next couple of months is we'll get a third chest freezer in preparation for us to start to put the vegetables that we want to preserve. We'll be doing a lot of sauces, chutneys, things like that this year hopefully, but we do want a huge batch of frozen vegetables. One of those vegetables is mange too. We absolutely love stir fries. And mange too, you can't really buy it here. It's just not a vegetable that's easily available. Contrast to in the UK, you could get that quite easily. So I am sowing the first succession. There'll be two successions of mange too for this spring, and it's a cool weather crop, peas and mange too. So we have a very short window in spring to get a crop in, get some in the freezer hopefully, and we can just then grab a handful whenever out of the bags whenever we want them. So this is what I'm doing now, and it's a variety called Karubi de Marseille, and it's just literally dehydrated mange too peas. Now your mange too, normally you, as you can see, if you know what mange too is, I think they're called snow peas in America. This is what you call them in Canada. But you normally harvest the pods immature, so they're flat. But then when you harvest and collect seed, you let them mature so that they become like peas. And this is what you just sow in. You sow in dried peas. Now you can soak these before you plant them, and you can also direct plant them into the ground as well, but we have quite a few mice here and rabbits who would just dig these up. So I am putting them, I'm not bothering to soak them because I keep them wet in the actual seed tray. So I'll be sowing probably one tray of this week and one tray next week, which will give us about 180, 170 plants, maybe 150 with germination rates, and that should be enough basically to get us a decent crop to put in the freezer, and then we'll do the same again, but probably on a slightly larger scale, so we've got some for the restaurant as well in the late summer for autumn harvest. So the next job is to put on these artichokes. These are artichokes that were sown in September, and they overwintered. They're a variety called Green Globe, and they do look a little bit worse for wear, but that's because they've been in freezing polytunnel on the evenings and just getting the sun during the day. But it's perfect time to pot them up now, and then probably in another 2 months' time, when our risk of frost is pretty much gone, they'll go into the garden. And we might get some artichokes off them this year, maybe June. We'll see how we go with them. So we're about just under halfway, and so we've got 18 artichokes there. I've already got and taken 12 to the polytunnel. So yeah, what's that? That's about 30, 60. I think we're going to end up with about 60 or 70 artichoke plants here, which is pretty good. It'll be our second lot of artichokes that we've planted here. We've been having artichokes for the last few years, but I want to re-site where we have our artichokes because they're a perennial plant. You just don't need to really do hardly anything with them at all. And I've had them in the kitchen garden, and they just take up valuable space in beds that I need to be accessing for quicker turnover of plants. So I am resiting all the artichokes this year. Absolutely love artichokes. Never really had them till I came to France, but I love them in oil, preserving them in oil. They're absolutely gorgeous, just as a bit of a very quick side dish in the summer as a tapas, or with some meat or salad. So yeah, these artichokes hopefully will serve us well. And then later on this afternoon, I'm going to be planting some violetta artichokes, so I'll drop in a picture of those here. So there we have it. There's the artichokes all potted up, green globe, and there is exactly 70. So good estimate. So they'll probably be in there for 2 months now. Might need repotting on again, and then they will be sited onto the farm plot somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where yet, but by the time it comes to planting them out, I'll have it figured out. So we've got all sorts of things growing in here. I'll show you that at another time, but these are the first two propagators that I've set up. Sorry, I'll just zoom out of it. These are the first two propagators that are set up. These have heat going to them, and what it does is it just creates a nice sort of moist, humid environment, but depending on the weather, depends on how you need to manage these. And you can see that we have these droplets. Now, an hour ago, I already came in and got rid of the water droplets, but the sun's come out now, and that's why we're getting this condensation on the lids. So it's really important to come in and vent, whilst also trying to keep the heat in the seedlings. So most of these were sowed sort of 4 or 5 days ago, and this is the tomatoes and peppers, and you can see that we've got there little seedling coming up for a purple pepper variety, and we've got our first tomato seedling there. That is a black cherry, and nothing doing yet. You've got to be careful how much you water these. Not enough and the seedlings will shrivel and die in this heat. Too much and the seeds, we just got a tiny little pepper seed coming through there. Too much and the heat can form a crust. Oh yeah, we've got our first quarter boo, big beefsteak tomato coming through there. Too much and you can get what we call, I forget what the term is, but you get like a crust on the top of your seedlings, and because the then top of the seedling soil becomes hard, the seeds just can't push through. So yeah, so that's the pepper and tomato, the first sowing, so that we call that the first succession of the tomatoes and peppers in there. There will be more. And then this one is for, at the moment, my cucurbits. So we've got piccolo, a variety of cucumber there, nothing to see yet, but they are it's a variety of gherkin, kind of like a little gherkin cucumber. It can be eaten fresh as well, but it's a really nice small cucumber to preserve. We grew it last year and the year before. And then we have cucumber Carmen, and that is a greenhouse cucumber. So what we're doing now is we're just going to take the courgettes. The reason these propagators are separated like they are, or I have two for the different types, is peppers and tomatoes need to be hotter than things like courgettes and cucumbers. Now melons, although they're in the same family as they're in the cucurbit family, and they are the same family as cucumbers, squashes, courgettes, they do need more heat. So they are in the first sowing of melons, which is a cantaloupe melon variety, are in this propagator here. So there you go. I'm just going to add a bit more water to these because they do need some more water, and then we'll shut this propagator up.
There you have it, folks, another vlog in the books, so to speak. Don't forget to follow us on our social media channels on Facebook and Instagram. We are the Chateau Farm, and in the next episode, Julian will show his face. What a surprise!